Good afternoon guys, welcome back to the channel. Tiny in Thailand here. We're live from LK Metro here in Pattaya. It's Friday afternoon, it's about 10 to 4. Thought I'd just jump on and do a quick video for you. So today's video is basically my biggest 5 tips for newbies for when they actually arrive in Thailand and in Pattaya especially. What's the main things you got to look out for, what can help you, and what not to do when you're here. Okay, so tip number 1, these are not in any particular order, but tip number 1, you've got off the plane, you've gone through immigration, your bag's arrived, you're walking out through customs, and then what you're going to see, the first thing you're going to see is telephone companies trying to sell you a SIM card. And in my opinion, it's worthwhile either setting up an eSIM for when you actually before you come here, and then activating it when you land, which is what I do, or go into one of these phone shops and getting yourself a SIM put in your phone, because otherwise you're just going to be, you know, going into every bar asking them what the password is for the Wi-Fi. It's just going to be a pain, and to be honest, it's not secure. You know what I mean? You could lose. You don't know they're all unsecure kind of lines, and you don't know what they could be finding in your phone. So my big first tip would be to get yourself an eSIM, because you're going to want to, you know, a lot of the girls here, they use Line and WhatsApp. So if you do meet a girl, you're going to want to communicate with her at some point, or she's going to want to communicate with you. So get yourself an eSIM or get yourself a SIM. You can also get them from 7-Elevens, which are absolutely everywhere, all around whatever town and city you're in Thailand. And the girl will actually do it for you. She'll actually put the SIM in, set it all up, and then you can always go back to her if you need a top up at some point. So that's tip number 1, get yourself a SIM card. Okay, tip number 2, cash is king in Thailand. It always has been and it always will be. But only take enough money out with you per night that what you need, and that is totally subjective. You could be somebody who only spends 500 baht a night because they're drinking 2-for-1 bars and they go home at 11 o'clock. Or you can be somebody that's really extravagant, splashes the cash and might need 10, 15, 20,000 baht a night. But only take out what you're prepared to spend. If you're going to take a card out with you, which I wouldn't recommend, but don't take out a credit card. Get yourself a prepaid card like a Wise card, which I use. But just take out enough money that you're going to use that night, and then obviously put the rest in a safe in your room. And it's always a good idea to make sure the hotel that you stay in does have a safe in your room. Some of them have them in reception, but I don't know, I don't trust them. I like to see it in my room. So yeah, take out as much money, and you know, don't be flashing the cash when you're here. You know, don't pull out loads of big notes and just you know, it's the people can see them, and it's just going to bring you unwanted, probably what's the word, like unwanted scrutiny. People are going to think that you've got lots of money, and you never know who's watching you. So yeah, I usually change up £150 a day, and that's what, you know, that feeds me, and that gets me drinks. And I usually go out with about 5,000 to 6,000 baht at night time. But it depends what you're going to get up to. Sometimes I do take out a little bit more. So you're in a bar, you've got your money, you've got your SIM card set up. What's the next top tip that I'd say? So when you sat in most bars, you're going to have girls come up to you and approach you, and they're going to want to talk to you. They ask you the famous 3 questions. What's your name, where you're from, and how long are you here for? And they can usually work you out by those 3 questions. They can usually work out whether you're somebody who's going to spend a lot of money or somebody who's not going to spend a lot of money. But I see a lot of girls, a lot of guys that come here and they moan about lady drinks and they say, oh no, don't buy girls lady drinks, or be really careful which ones you... Mate, believe me, I come here, this holiday I've got a friend with me, so it's not too bad, but a lot of the time I solo travel. So if you sit in a bar and a girl comes up to you and starts talking to you, and then after a couple of minutes she normally will say, you know, you want to buy me a drink? If you say no, right, then she's going to walk off and you're just going to be sat there on your own. I can understand some guys that when ladies approach them and they straight away, before they've even ordered their own drink, they say, can you buy me a drink? Now, I think that's a bit cheeky, and yeah, I'd say no, you know what I mean, because I don't even know you. But if the girl's made some effort and you've had a bit of a laugh with her, and you know, and you seem to be getting on and you find her attractive, buy her a bloody lady drink. Yeah, a lady drink can range from 150 baht in your normal beer bar to around about, I paid 260 baht, which was it is a rip-off, to be honest. That's their walking street, but it is what it is down there. You expect to pay a bit more, and it wasn't even a lady drink. It was basically a shot with about that much alcohol in the middle, alcohol at the bottom, and then some whipped cream and a cherry on the top. You know, but I bought one. I wouldn't do it again, but that's it. But yeah, buy the lady drinks. Absolutely. Else they're just going to leave you, and you're just going to be sat on your own. If that's what you want, if you want a quiet night, great. But there's going to be times when you're not going to want a quiet night. There's going to be times when you want a bit of company. I always find that it's better to have a bit of company rather than just sat there like Billy No Mates. So that's my next tip. Don't be worried about spending a little bit more and buying a lady drink. Also, just to elaborate a little bit on with the girls when you bought my lady drink, you know, be yourself, relax, don't be intimidating, don't ask them too much serious questions, you know, be sociable, have a bit of a smile as you're talking to them, you know, just enjoy yourself, be a little bit flirty with them, they'll be flirty back. One of the things I do is to kind of break the ice, is I've got some kind of Thai words written down, and I say to them, oh, my friend, he lives here for 20 years and he's teaching me some Thai words. Can you help me with them? Be like, am I saying them right? So, but the Thai words are actually quite a bit kind of rude, as in, you know, like, give me a kiss, can I, you know, you look beautiful. So it kind of gets them laughing and smiling. So yeah, have a little plan of what you're going to say to them, not just the usual. My name's John. I'm from England, and you know, I'm a window cleaner. You know what I mean? Just try and have a bit of banter, with them, have a laugh with them. It's not like in England, you haven't got to be really careful about what you say, especially in Pattaya. I know it's different, maybe other places, but they expect you to be a little bit flirty with them and a little bit, and they're okay with a bit of banter, as long as you're buying them a drink. You know, they'll sit there and take it and have a laugh with you all day long. By the way, I could probably do about 20 of these newbie tips, but I'm just going to give you some for like probably the first couple of days that you're here. So next tip number 4, you sat in a bar, you've landed, you've gone through the airport, you've put an eSIM in, you've changed some money up, you're in a bar, you're having a laugh with a girl. So the next tip, what's going to probably happen is if you're buying girls drinks, you might get a friend come over and another friend. Be careful with that, because they will kind of take advantage. You know, and one thing about Thai women is, or the girls that work in Pattaya, sorry, I should say, you know, because it is a job to them, they will just, you know, if you buy them one drink, they'll expect another one. If you buy them 10 drinks, they'll expect 11 drinks. So just be careful with that. But the next tip I'd say is, when you go into a bar here, there's usually like a big bell, and that's usually by the bar. There's normally 2 of them. The one's for the staff and the other one's for everybody. I was told a story yesterday about a guy that actually was waiting for a drink, and he sat there for 5 minutes, nobody come up to serve him, and he thought, oh, I'll just ring this bell. And all of a sudden he rang the bell and everybody started screaming and ran up towards him, and it cost him 8,000 baht because he had to buy all the staff in the bar a drink. So be careful, if you see the bell, unless you want to ring it, don't bother ringing it, because that will cost you a minimum of 6,000 baht at least, which is £130, $150, something like that. So if you're having a great time and you want to go for it, do it, but just be mindful of what it's going to cost you. I've rung the bell once, and that was yesterday, and there was 3 people in the bar. So I thought I'd get out of the way. I've never rung it, and so I think it cost me something like, what, 500 baht. But yeah, bit of a cheap Charlie there. Don't ring the bell. Don't ring it, I'm telling you. Cheers. Just having a quick Coke here in OK Metro. So, last tip I'm going to give you. So you've met the girl of your dreams, and you want to, you want to have some fun. One of the tips that I learned pretty quickly, I learned the hard way, was I always have an idea of what the money that you want to pay, and you tell them what you want to pay. So, for example, you probably know how it works, but I'll just run you through it. You can have short time, which is usually an hour, maybe 2 hours, or you can have long time where they stay overnight, so roughly to say 11, 12 o'clock the next day. Obviously the long time is going to be more, but you're going to be looking at, for short time, which is just back to the hotel for 1 hour or 2 hours, you're going to be talking minimum 1,500 baht for the girl. Anything, depending on where you're getting her from, depending on how beautiful she is, and depending on whether she actually likes you, it could go up to 4,000 or 5,000, maybe even more. So have a figure in your mind what you want to spend. So I always start off at 1,500 baht, and I say I want 1,500 baht, and then a lot of them will go, oh no. But then, depending on how late it is, have they got any other options? Is the bar quiet? Then they might accept that, or they might not. It's up to them. And then you can kind of barter with them if you're up to whatever price you want to. But don't kind of say to them, how much do you want? Because they will start off at probably 3,000, and then they're not going to really want to come down like to half of that. They'll probably accept 2,500. Well, to me, for short time, that's probably a little bit excessive. Yeah, so and always tell them exactly. I've got to be careful what I say, but just tell them exactly what you want. And there'll be no surprises then, will there? So yeah, speak to the girl. Once you bought her a drink, find out if she's interested in you and if she likes you. And then if she does, and you just say, well, would you want to come back to the hotel? Would you like to come back to my hotel? Or and see what she says. And if she says, yeah, okay, then say to her, okay, then this is what I would like, and I'm going to be I'll pay you a certain amount, and see what she says, and go from there. But never ask her what she wants. That would be my 5th and final newbie tip for the person that's just arrived in Pattaya tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the video. So far I've been really busy on this trip. I've probably got about another 5 days to go. I've got loads of requests for videos, and see what I can do. But thanks to everybody who's subscribed, thanks to everybody who's commented. We're doing really well. We're nearly up to, not far off, we're over 900 subs now. If I could, I'd love to get to 1,000. But I am on holiday. I am trying to kind of do the videos for you lot, but enjoy myself as well. It's kind of having a bit of a balancing act, really. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love it here. Been here loads of times. So once again, thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Nice one.